Hello and welcome to this video about the External Worker Client for Java. I'm Valentin Zickner and I will walk you through how you can create a simple External Worker Client with Spring Boot in Java. Go ahead and create a simple process which is using that External Worker Client, and at the end we are also going to transmit data to the External Worker Client and receive data back from the External Worker Client. So let's get started, and therefore I'm going to start pretty much on start.spring.io, but I'm going to use the Spring CLI. So let's simply say spring init -- build, and we would like to have a Maven project with external worker. Now this is downloading us from start.spring.io, a simple repository extracted to external worker. We have a few files in here, and I'm actually going to open that in IntelliJ. So in here, we have now several files. We have a source folder where we have in source main Java our demo application. That's our standard application. And we also have a POM file. That POM file includes already two dependencies and the dependency management from Spring Boot as well. So with that, let's get started and add here also another dependency. We would like to have the Flowable External Worker Spring Boot Starter. And we would like to have version 2.0 in case we are using Spring 4, in case you are using Spring 3 or Spring Boot 3 to be more precise, then you need to go ahead and use version 1. Now, since we have that external worker Spring Boot Starter in there, it is going to do the auto configuration for us. However, we still need to specify inside our application properties how to connect to Flowable, and we need to create an external worker. Therefore, let's quickly go to the Flowable External Client Java GitHub Repository. We already integrated our dependency, so we can simply grab this example for the external worker job. I will paste that here on the class path, and we have now here a simple example worker. It resolved already automatically the imports, so we have those available. We have a second example in here, and then we have the connection properties. I'm going to use the connection properties which are in here. In case you are using the Flowable Trial, then you would like to go for this property, and you have the possibility in design to create a token, or actually in work to create a token to connect to your external worker. So let's go ahead and take this one inside the application properties. We just say in here, I'm going for localhost 8090. That's our base URL, and my username is admin, and my password is test. With that, we can pretty much connect now to our Flowable installation. Therefore, I just say start here. It starts, and now in the background, it is connecting. So let's actually go ahead and go to Flowable Design. In Flowable Design, we can create now a simple app, external worker app. In there, we are going to create a new process. That's our external worker process. And actually, let me quickly go ahead and change our app name so that we don't have an uppercase P in here. And inside the process, we can now say, okay, we would like to have an external worker task. When you have this list view, you can simply find it here. When you have the smaller view, then just click on the user symbol here, activities, and there you have the external worker task as well. So we have here a job topic, and when we actually go back to our Java code, we see here that we have the topic my topic. So that is exactly what we need to fill in for the job topic in here. With that, we can already save that and we can publish it. And once published, we can go ahead and create in Flowable Work a new process with that external worker process. Since that's the only process I have deployed, it directly asks me if I would like to start it. I say continue, and now we see actually inside the history that our active task is the external worker task. In the background, this application is doing polling and looking for new external worker jobs on our specific topic. And within a few seconds, we actually should see that executed job here inside our console. And there we go, that it executed now our job. When we reload here, we see that this external worker process is completed. And when we go to the main side, we see pretty much there's nothing what needs to be done. Now, in case I would like to have variables, let's first create a start form to have actual variables which we can use. So that's our external worker start form. And then we press finish here. We just say here we have a field 1 and a field 2. Those are the two fields I'm going to create. And then we say for the external worker job, we would like to have in parameters. And I'm just passing in here now field 1. I'm not going to pass in field 2. So we are going to see then that we only transmitted field 1 actually. We also have the possibility to receive data from our Java application in this case. So we say we have an out parameter. That's my external worker result. And we store it as, actually let's call it just my var, and we store it as external worker result. This my var we are going to see later on inside our Java application as well, since that we need to set as a result. Now with this being set, my external worker result here, so the external worker result, we can go ahead and add a new task in here and say result colon external worker result. With that, we can save that and we can publish it. But before we create a new instance, actually, let's just stop that external worker in here, since otherwise it will directly consume it. And then we can go ahead and start here a new instance. This is awesome, and this is not visible. And with that, we submit that. We then go back here to Flowable inside, or to our Flowable external worker inside the IDE. And we can say in here, okay, we have the job. On the job, we actually get all the variables. There we have an entry set, and we just iterate over that. And those are our variables. So we just say here, okay, we print the variable with the key and the value. Let's just move this one a little bit up. So we have first external job, then we enter or print the variables as well. Now we also would like to return my var as a result, and therefore we can go ahead and say here that we have a second parameter. That's our worker result builder, and we just call that result builder. And we are also going ahead and returning, in this case, worker result. Now I can return my result builder.build, which would not add any variable. Actually, it's not even correct. I would like to return result builder.success. We could also say instead of success.bpmn error, .failure, or .cmmn terminate. But let's say .success, and we can say we would like to add a variable. We have my var, and we just say this worked. So with that, we are sending the variable my var back with the content this worked. I'm going to start the demo application again with our changed elements. We see here that we directly executed that job, since at the beginning it's looking for jobs. and we have the field 1 with "this is awesome." Now when I refresh here, we see that we have a task result. This worked. Going here to the history, we also see that our external worker task was completed. Now let's complete this user task, and with that our process is done. With that, we also reach the end of the video. In this video, you have seen how to create a process with an external worker task, how to hand variables in, how to receive variables from the external worker, and how you can create an external worker with Java and Spring Boot. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and see you next time.